Hello and welcome to today's episode of Spill Your Beans. Today we'll be covering Ramadan and Eid with our guest. Now, I don't want to say your name wrong, so could you please let our audience know who you are?
Sure, it's Aliyah Kazmi, and Aliyah means like the highest place in heaven or a guiding light.
Okay, now that's quite a high expectation. Does
Yeah.
it fit?
I'd hope so. I'd hope so. I mean, I try following those that footpath, but
Okay, so Elijah, so a
yes.
J. Now, I know when I get my name in the Punjabi culture, it's picked by the stars or time of day you're born. So your parents are told, okay, this kid has to have a name starting with these syllable. What about you guys? Is there anything in your culture like that?
Well, not really. With my name, my mom, she was reading our holy script, which was the Quran, and she stumbled upon the name Elijah, and she absolutely loved the meaning. You know, she clicked with it instantly, and here I am, Elijah.
Yeah, no pressure or
No,
anything. Just
not at
here,
all.
the seventh heaven, guiding light. Well, you know what? There's hope. There
Always,
definitely is.
yes.
Now, you mentioned the Quran, and let's get to what we're here for.
Yeah.
And it was about Ramadan.
Yes.
Now, I know we're a little late covering this, but I still wanted to get ourselves educated and let our audience know what it's all about.
Yeah.
So the basic question, what is Ramadan?
Well, Ramadan is the ninth month in the Islamic calendar, and basically, it during the month of Ramadan, it's about fasting, you know, generosity and sacrifice, and this is practiced by Muslims all over the world. During the month of Ramadan, you know, Muslims they experience hunger and thirst, and it allows us to really understand what people are going through around the world that don't have much. It's a lot, yeah.
You know, I just went to a place in India, and it's a lot more of suffering and hunger than
Yeah.
we get to see in where we live. So it's very hard to go hungry. I
is
mean,
very hard,
if any of you watching have ever gone hungry for one day and known how you feel at the end of the day, imagine somebody who's looking for food for days.
the time, yeah.
So, wow, how long do you do the fast for?
So it's from sunrise to sunset, and it's done for a whole month, 30 days. We eat before sunrise, and it gets us, you know, gives us the energy we need for the day. And we break our fast when sun sets. We usually break our fast with a date, as it, you know, it's high in fiber and it provides us with the energy that we need after having fasted the whole day.
Okay, so now you're fasting for the whole day.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the sundown, sunset, do you go make a big plate of everything, or are you limited to what you can have?
You know, there is no limit to how much you can eat, but I've realized that after fasting the whole day, you don't really, in your head and throughout the whole day, you're thinking of like sweets and like all these things that you really want. But when it actually comes to the time where you're supposed to break your fast, you realize that you're not as hungry as you thought you were. You don't take as much, and you actually can't take as much. You don't feel as hungry.
Okay,
Yeah.
now, is fasting not healthy for you? Like, isn't it unhealthy?
That's not true, actually. There's many health benefits to fasting. It promotes detoxification. It helps with regulate high blood pressure levels. It helps promote, you know, weight loss and healthy living as well. And it helps teach us to stay away from or abstain from things that, you know, aren't good for us.
All right, so about fasting, when is the first time you fasted?
I remember I started fasting around kindergarten when I was like around 5 or 6. I always really wanted to fast, but I was too young. So what we would do is we do half days. I would fast in the morning. You know, I would do my we would eat in the morning before sunrise, and then I would break my fast around 12 in the afternoon, and that's kind of how it started. And now I just do the every single day.
Yeah, you can go the whole day, no problem.
Yeah.
Okay, now, so at a young age, was this pushed on you by family, or was this something you wanted to be a part of yourself?
Well, it was never pushed upon me. It was always something I was really interested in. And my parents, I never accepted, you know, Islam and fasting and all this simply because it was the religion that my parents followed. They never raised me that way. They always wanted me to learn about Islam, to learn about the religion, to learn why I'm doing it. And for me, when I learned about it, it all made sense. And so, you know, I kept at it, and that's I believed in it.
Yeah. I don't know if this is going to make the Indian community sound bad, but I know if I told my parents I want to fast, they might be like, oh, we're saving money on food. You know, like, I was kind of fat kid too, so this might be good. Here's the question. For Ramadan,
Yeah.
do I have to fast?
you don't have to fast not to be a part of Ramadan and everything. Actually, in fact, there are some people that are exempted from fasting, which are the elderly, those that are sick, and young kids. These people are exempted from fasting during the month of Ramadan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, doing Ramadan, completing Ramadan, is it like a goal and you've got an achievement unlocked? Like, you play video games and you pass a certain level at a certain level, and all of a sudden, yes, new mystery unlocked. Is there a belief that by fasting we gain something?
Yeah, I think that depends on each person how they see it. But for me, I really see that by fasting, I gain a more spiritual understanding of why I'm here. I get closer to God, and you know, it teaches me about giving and being generous to others, and being kind. So for me, that's what I get out of it. I feel like it's more spiritual, and it's more dependent on how each person sees it. It's what each person sees that they gain, what you think you'd gain.
Here's an idea.
Yeah.
Now, you're fasting to
Yes.
learn how it feels to go hungry or not have anything. Does the community as a whole say, hey, the food that we would be eating, let's take it and donate it to people that could use it?
That's actually exactly what we are told to do during the month of when you're fasting. You're actually told to feed others that are hungry. That aren't
It's
able
beautiful.
to. Yeah, it is. It is really beautiful. When we're fasting during the month of Ramadan, we're told to give to others, to give food to others, and it's just mainly about a month of really understanding who we are, what we're supposed to do, and to give to others.
Okay, now, when you give to others,
Yeah.
are you looking at giving to one certain background, one demographic? Are you just giving to other Islamic people or other, sorry to say Islamic people, Canadians? We're different backgrounds, but we are still all
All of
Canadian
us,
here.
yeah, true.
So, is there a certain demographic that you do donate, or is it everybody?
No, it's everybody. We believe that it doesn't matter what you believe in. It doesn't matter what color your skin is. Your beliefs. It's about just giving to humans. We're all human here. We all look at the same sky, at the same stars, and it's just about being kind and helping others. Yeah.
Very well said. Now, do you do this out of your temple, mosque, mandir?
Giving or
Yeah,
what
is there,
specifically?
yeah, does it just randomly street or does it through an organization?
Well, there are organizations where you do it specifically, such as Muslim Food Bank. We work with them, and then Azahra Islamic Center. They have various organizations where they work on giving food to others and helping others as well. In fact, they actually have there's their humanitarian project. It's called Humankind, where they focus, where the main drive is and focuses on helping others, and focusing on giving back. And one of the amazing things that they do during the month of Ramadan is this. It's called a backpack project, where they work with where they work alongside another organization, and they give backpacks and all the necessities for school for kids in BC that live below the poverty line. So there's a lot of different organizations that you work with, but you can always just go and give on your own if you want to. Yeah.
Give on your own. See, we're learning right now that Ramadan isn't about something for them, it's for the audience,
Everybody.
for Canadians, it's giving. And so you said there's an Islamic food bank.
Yes.
There's the Backpack Project.
Yeah.
There's Humankind. And starts with a Z?
A Zahra, it's an Islamic
Zahra.
center where basically all of this kind of like stems from as well.
Okay, well, we'll make sure we'll let people know where these are and how they can get a
Yes.
hold of them,
Yes,
and,
that'd be
and help
wonderful.
out with that as well.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be Islamic to help. It's about a good
definitely
heart,
not.
a giving nature. It's about being Canadian.
Yeah.
You know what? You mentioned God. So
Yes.
when we get back, I'm going to ask you who God is in the
Okay.
Islamic community.
Okay.
That's okay?
Yeah.
All right, folks, when we get back. Well, welcome back with Aliyah.
Yes.
I got it right.
Yes.
And before we went away, we said we were going to talk about God. Now, this is a tough one because I know a little bit about culture and history, and I'm going to share what I know.
Okay.
Okay, so Judaism, Christianity,
Yes.
Islam,
Yes.
and this new Baha'i faith all started from the same covenant between God and Moses,
Yeah.
the Ten Commandments?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so Is Muhammad a god or is he a prophet?
Um, he's actually a prophet, Prophet Muhammad. Yes.
Okay. So he's not like somebody you idolize. When you bow down or pray, do you pray to Muhammad or do you pray to a god?
So we don't pray to anybody but God. We believe in the oneness of God. So when we bow down and we pray, it's only to God.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. So it's to God. Muhammad is somebody who came and showed the way.
Actually, there's only one God, but Prophet Muhammad, he's someone that guides. He was someone that brought the Quran and taught us about Islam. But there is only one God.
Now
Yeah, yeah.
that's news to me, because well,
Yes.
being raised Sikh,
Yes.
God is one. It's something we get
Yes.
told all the time.
All the time.
But
Yeah.
hearing this now, like I wasn't sure because so Jesus is also a prophet.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm starting to get this.
There's a lot
So
of similarities.
yeah. So
Yeah.
there's the new Baha'i religion. They believe there's another prophet coming soon to come unite the world. So we'll cover that one day soon too, you guys. So that's amazing to learn about that.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about prophets here, messengers of God.
Yes.
Here's a question: Who wrote the Quran?
Well, we believe that it was only God that wrote the Quran. God is the one that guides us, and God's the one that tells us about everything, and that's what we see through the Quran. God wrote the Quran.
Okay, here's a strange question. Could sound like a very dumb question.
Not at all.
God, male, female, energy. Is there a definition for God?
There isn't a specific definition, but we know that God is not a male. God's not a female. God has no son, no daughters. God's not married. God just is.
Never heard that answer before. We kind of got the analogy of that
Yes.
before, but I would have never guessed or assumed that. Okay, and so how often do you go to church or pray to God? Is there a set, like I know there's the belief system, I'm going to stereotype here, and you see a person randomly bowing down and facing.
The Kaaba, or the West,
Okay.
where the Kaaba is. Yeah.
Okay, and how many times do you have to?
So we pray 5 times a day, and it's in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night.
Okay. Now I'm going to get into this whole world image.
Okay.
We've talked about how during Ramadan you fast and you give food to all these different backgrounds, everybody. And then God is one, and so you help everybody.
Yes.
You pray 5 times a day.
Yes.
So why am I hearing all this bad news about the Islam community? Why is it always defined as terrorists or pointing fingers? Can you shed any light on this? Because I'm looking at you right now, and there's no sign of that in my eyes or in my heart. I can't even sense it. So,
Well, first off, I just want to say that terrorism, it has no religion. It's this, sixth sense of what they believe is right, and they're just promoting hurting others and being unkind, which is not what Islam or any religion is about. It's about being kind and being generous and helping others. And really, what these terrorists and all these other people are trying to promote is actually destroying what humanity is about.
because it doesn't, what you said about Islam and what I get told or
It's
like
always
media,
very, yeah.
well, how does it make you feel when you're sitting at home doing your homework like every average Canadian, all of a sudden you flip the channel and it's talking about Islam this and Islam that, and I mean in a very bad light. How do you feel about that?
Well, there's actually a lot of feelings that run through my mind in those moments. One, it's anger at the thought that there are people out there that want to hurt others and like to put it on a certain religion and say this is what they do. There's sadness.
Physical hurt or mental hurt? That's
Both, isn't there? Isn't there? You see that they're out there and they're hurting people both physically and mentally. And it also brings sadness over the fact that we're not really. There is no learning in that area going on. Everyone is stereotyping, and there's also senses of fear there as well. You feel, what if no one actually sees what really is there? And lots of feelings go through, but you always have faith and belief that there are people out there that want to learn, that will learn, and you have a very positive community. There's a belief that there will always be people there to support you and to see the truth.
see the truth.
See the truth.
Okay, so all of a sudden something you've seen is bothering you.
Yeah.
Do you approach family? Do you approach a teacher, a friend? Do you confide in? Or is there somebody you can talk to within the community when all this is coming up and it's offending you, it's bothering you? Is there a way you can communicate?
Well, there are many different things we can do. First of all, personally, I always go to my parents. You know, I always talk to them about it. We always have discussions at home. We can always go to, you know, like the mosque and talk to people that are there. But I think the main thing that we can do, you know, as a community as a whole, is to present a better image of, you know, of Islam, or people in general, and, you know, just do community work and help people out there, because you can go and you can discuss and, you know, you can gain a better understanding of different things, but nothing will actually change unless we go out there and we take action and we change things for the better. So yeah.
Nothing will actually change unless we go out there and take action and make things change.
Yeah.
Love that. So how do you help? How do you make things change? Is there a part of your life that's into giving or helping?
Yes, always. You know, growing up, my parents, they always taught me to give and all that. And I work with various organizations, various charities. I work with the Muslim Food Bank, and you know, we take small steps to make big change.
Small steps to make.
Make big
I've been quoting you like left, right, and center. You said so many things that I just
thank you.
that resonate with me. I'm gonna have to write all these things down. Like, wow, how old are you?
17.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I'm actually 40.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding.
we won't talk about age anymore. All right. Okay. So giving through the community, excelling. Now,
Yes.
how do I help break a stereotype? You're sitting here across, sharing your views, not your views, actually your beliefs,
Yes.
which is a very vulnerable situation
Very,
here.
yeah.
You're okay with this?
Yeah.
It's not frowned upon that a young Islamic woman sitting on my couch, wearing makeup, talking about this.
No, not at all. You know, doing all these things and, you know, working in the community like this and, you know, talking about these things, it's not frowned upon. Rather, I've gotten very positive feedback from the community. I've had a lot of, you know, people that support me throughout all this, such as, you know, Bina Anjum. She works with youth, and she's always been very supportive of me. There's been Bruce Keeler from Canucks Building Supplies from the community has always been very supportive, and PCCA, which is the Pakistani Canadian Cultural Association, has always been very supportive of youth, you know, going out there, chasing their dreams, talking about what they believe to be true. So there hasn't been any negative comments or anything along those lines.
Okay, now have I missed anything? I know we've talked about Ramadan, what we go through with it, God. Now this is past. Is Eid something coming up, or?
Eid is something that actually already passed just a couple
That's
days
already
ago.
passed?
Yes,
Okay.
it's right after Ramadan, when the moon is sighted, after, you know, the 30 days have been completed, and it's a day, 3 days of celebration that occur, and yeah, we basically just you know, go to the mosque on the first day of Eid. We go to the mosque early in the morning, and we do our Eid prayers. Everyone wears, you know, their finest clothes, and we adorn our house with like decorations and lightings. And we go to each other's houses, and we, you know, cook special foods, and you know, give gifts to one another. It's very fun. It's amazing. Yeah.
Ah, sounds like a lot of
It's
fun.
very fun. Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? Speaking of fun,
Yes.
I think when we get back, we've talked a lot about culture and history.
Yes.
Let's talk about what you do for fun.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
When we get back. All right. I know we said we were talking about fun when we get back, so let's get straight to it.
All right.
Well, first off, are you having fun? Like, I
Yes.
haven't put you on the spot, anything here. Yeah, this is okay?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Okay. So with fun,
Yes.
school's done. You're free. You got all this
Yes.
time on your hands.
Goodness.
Really?
Well, I like school, but at the same time, breaks are nice.
Yeah.
Breaks are nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's talk about school then. I'm going off topic.
All right.
But I know as an Indian, there's pressure on doing good at school. Now any parent wants their kid to do good.
Yes.
But as culturally, it's so hard to move ahead in India. So studies and education, major point put onto that.
True.
Yourself?
I think it's just about caring about, where you're going. There's always going to be emphasis put on education. I think it's very important as well. It really helps us progress in society, helps us become, important contributing members in society, and allows us to gain a better understanding of the world itself. So education is important, and you can tell that I really like learning and studying as well. So I might be a bit biased there, but yeah, I think that wherever you are, whichever culture you belong to, there's always going to be an emphasis put on education because it's important and it's what we're striving towards. Yeah.
Knowledge is power.
Yes.
And don't just go or seek the knowledge in that book right in front of you. Go and search the truth for yourself. Now, I talk about fun and we're talking about school. Forget that. Real fun. I'm not saying school's not fun, because I was one of those guys. I love school. But I did. I would cry if my parents took me out for the day, and I'd be like, no, I want to stay. Yes, I really did cry. Okay, so fun stuff.
Yes.
Tell me something. What is you do is there any extracurricular activities, something you're involved in outside of school?
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned school and fun. I like to read a lot. I love going to the library, but I also love writing. I have an idea of a book that I want to write, and that I just bounce off of those ideas, and that's what I'm doing right now. I love art. I love painting, and recently, actually, I'm going to be starting doing. It's like medieval sword fighting, which it's so interesting. It's not jousting, but it's like training how knights would back in medieval times, and you learn kind of like sword play and how everything was back then. That's really exciting. I really like that.
Don't get angry at me saying this, but are women allowed to carry weapons? And I know. Fashion, I heard.
Yes.
Yes? Really?
Yeah.
Does your mom know about this?
Yes, she does actually.
Really?
Yeah, it's funny. In fact, my mom was the one that guided me into that area and into fashion and everything. I think I was in grade 7, and we did. There was a fashion show, and my mom she kind of pushed me towards that. But it was also always something that I really was interested in, and there was a pageant that I really wanted to join, and I remember learning about it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is something I really, really want to do. And it also provided me with a platform to raise money for the Canadian Cancer Society. So I went up to my mom, I went to my parents, and this is something I really want to do. And my parents have always been very supportive, and they know that education is where my passion lies. That's what I'm interested in. But I also really love doing all these other things, and they're always there for me. Yeah, that's about it.
So some other young woman watching the show right now and is thinking, okay, I can't do that. That's not part of my culture or heritage. Well, how did you find the nerve or the guts to pursue this?
Yeah. Well, first of all, it's just always something that I've wanted to do. And I know that I had the support of my parents. But also, I knew what I was doing, there was nothing wrong with it. And I was giving back to a great cause. Like during my pageant, I was able to raise over $12,000 for the Canadian Cancer Society. So it gave me a positive platform to do good, and my parents saw that as well. And just the main message I would want to give young girls and women is that, if you're very passionate about something, go out there and do that. If you want to, be a part of fashion, or maybe you like writing, or maybe you want to be an actor, an actress, go out there and do it. You always will have the support of the people that love you. You just need to go there, and you need to speak with them, and you need to tell them how you feel about it. And there will always, be misunderstandings. And but if you discuss with them, and you really feel passionate about something, you will be able to make it. And another thing I'd like to say for parents specifically is that if your child comes to you and they tell you this is something that they want to do, please don't stop them from going out and pursuing something that they're very passionate about. Know that there's support them. Know that what they're doing is very positive, and be there for them. And that's the message that I'd like to give both young people and parents as well. Support one another and understand where each person is coming from. That'd be the main message I'd want to give.
Have you watched the show before? Are you looking to take my job or something? I usually
close. Well, I was thinking about it. I saw you there, and I'm like, that looks like a nice seat.
That was awesome. You know, I'm going to summarize basically everything we've talked about. What she said is the basic of the whole show. It comes from children going and approaching your parents, parents supporting their children, and having that dream. If your parents can share in your dream and help you get there, you don't have to go outside. You've got all the help and support that you have right there.
Yeah, the most important too.
So I'm going to summarize. I'm not even going to talk about that because I think you said it best. The biggest thing for me today was learning about a different culture and an event that you partake in, Ramadan. Not only are they fasting, they're learning to experience how other people in this world feel. Not only feeling it inside themselves, but they go out and give food, right? And try and break the poverty, break the hunger in other people. So I'm going to thank you first off for coming out, opening up on, it could have been a pretty tough topic here, but I think it went smoothly. The main thing I want to say is throughout the show today, we said about 4 or 5 different names of societies, events, temples. We're going to put all that information on if we haven't already done so, and check our social media because we want to make sure that we take part in these events. Just because they're different beliefs does not make them less human or foreigners. Canadian is Canadian, whether you put Indo-Canadian on it or Islam Canadian or Chinese Canadian. I think we're all, in the end,
We're all the same.
Canadian. So thank you, Elijah, for that.
Thank you for having
Alicia?
me. Leisha.
Leisha?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So Seventh Heaven, Guiding Light.
Yes.
Thank you so much for
That's
guiding
sweet.
us. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Location and studio provided by Sip Chai Cafe. Located in West Abbotsford, your locally owned and operated cafe.